like it like that. Don't mind getting hurt. Just to get home and you feel too safe, and you wanna get shaved. Let's get shaved.
Yeah.
With Coach.
Man, that burns.
Hey, it's Peebs, the peanut butter prophet. While I usually save my pontificating for rants about the joys of peanut butter, today I want to talk to you about our sponsor, Sam Bob. If you know me, you know I live in my custom Sam Bob microgrid hoodie. But the microgrid isn't the only thing I have from Sam. I'm in Chicago right now, and it was negative 35 degrees the other day. You know what I wore? Yes, my normal winter parka, but for other layers, I just had on a wool base and my Sam Bob Alpha 90 hoodie. That's it. That's how warm that thing is. But just as much as I love Sam Bob's fantastic products, I'm also a huge fan of the man himself. Sam puts his money where his mouth is in supporting local community. In the past, he's partnered with local LGBTQ plus rights organizations and camps that focus on getting everybody outside. I can't wait to see what he releases for Pride 2026. In the meantime, you can cozy up for the rest of winter thanks to an exclusive discount for our listeners. Head to sambob.biz and use the code CHAFED20 for 20% off your order. That's CHAFED 20 for 20% off the best dang hoodie you'll ever own.
Today's episode is brought to you by Trekker Joe's, gear I've used on every backpacking trip in the last 4 years. His shoulder strap pocket lives on my pack. Phone, snacks, headlamp, lighter, money, all right there. No more stopping, dropping the pack, and immediately forgetting why I stopped in the first place. I also use his shoulder strap water bottle holder. You only have to use one hand to get the water bottle in and out. It makes it easier to drink water while hiking without doing the whole awkward reach around thing or asking someone else to grab it for me. I stay hydrated and keep my dignity. I'm telling you, these are the best pack accessories and fanny packs. Comfortable, secure, and perfect for the stuff you need constantly or whatever random item you swear is essential. Trekker Joe's is a cottage brand that makes gear that actually improves your time outside instead of just adding weight and regret. It's made by an experienced hiker for hikers, and you're in luck. Joe is giving Chafed Outdoors podcast listeners 15% off. Just use the code Marion15 at checkout. That's MARION 15. Or click the link in the description and the discount will automatically apply. Thank you, Joe, for keeping my essentials handy, my water accessible, and my sanity mostly intact. Welcome to the Chafed Podcast. I'm Coach, and today I've got a special guest. I think last time we talked, I interviewed John, or Lightning. Do you still go by Lightning?
Mostly John anymore, so.
Okay. I interviewed John. He had just finished the Appalachian Trail. It's a great interview. Go check it out on YouTube. And you got to mark off something on your bucket list.
Yes.
And the last thing you talked about was about your next adventure being bikepacking.
Yes.
So today we're going to talk bikepacking, one of my favorite subjects.
Okay.
All right.
So there's bikepacking and bike touring. So we'll.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we'll definitely discuss that.
We'll get into that as well.
Well, why don't you first tell us about your recent adventure last year?
Okay. So like I told you at the AT interview, one of my other bucket list items, and it actually encompassed several things that I wanted to do. And that was, I wanted to see the California coast, Pacific Coast Highway. I wanted to see the desert, the Grand Canyon, the Painted Desert, Petrified Forest, the Ozarks. So when planning out this bike route, instead of taking one route, I sat down with the adventure cycling maps, the grand map, the big one, and I said, okay, I can do, so it's like a patchwork of trails is what it ended up being.
Okay.
So it started with the PCH, Pacific Coast Highway, and then Route 66.
Cool.
And then Route 66 intersects with the Trans Am, which is short for the Trans-America bike route.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not familiar with that, that's the Appalachian Trail of bike touring.
Oh, cool.
And then, and it literally brought me right back home. It crosses in Glade Springs, and I just rode home.
How many miles?
It was just short of 3,300 miles.
Wow. And you did all that last year?
Yes.
Was that the plan, or were you planning on the Pacific Coast Highway and then stopping, but you just wanted to keep going?
No, I wanted to ride. So we have family in San Francisco. So I left there, Half Moon Bay, and rode south to Santa Monica, Los Angeles area. And that's where Route 66, the bike Route 66. Now there's two. There's bike Route 66, and then there's the one that most people are familiar with, which is vehicles or motorcycles.
Okay.
So they're a lot in common, but they're a little different. There's places that you can't go on a bike that cars go, and vice versa.
I see. So would you call this trip a bike touring trip or a bike packing
No,
trip?
this was bicycle touring.
Okay. Because it's road.
It was
mostly?
I would say it was 99+% pavement.
And did you camp along the way?
So the first stretch, the Pacific Coast Highway, there is state parks, state natural areas, state beaches every 15 miles down the coast.
Oh, wow.
So you can pretty much just camp at leisure. And I did use hostels. I used a hostel in Santa Cruz, and then I used one in Monterey.
Okay.
Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet that was a gorgeous ride.
And then it was a little tougher when you got on 66. Like I said, it's catered to the vehicle driver more. And then you go through a lot of reservation land too, and camping is not allowed.
Is there plenty of water?
Never had an issue with water.
Okay.
Never had an issue. I carried a filter and a CNOC bag, and it never came out of my bags.
That's nice. Okay, so you like stop at gas stations or something like
Gas
that?
stations, campgrounds, everybody was
Okay.
really nice. And,
Nice.
if you just walked into a restaurant or gas station and said, "Can I fill up my water?" They just have at it.
You're kind of used to it.
And so after Route 66, it intersects in Missouri, somewhere near Marshfield, Missouri. It intersects with the Transamerica route.
Okay.
And then that takes you from a more of a northeast to a due east route through Kentucky, Missouri, Kentucky, and Virginia, and then back in. And that's the tough stretch.
Okay.
That's like
Mountains and
like the
lots of climbing.
if you take New Hampshire and Pennsylvania, put it together, that's what the AT hikers
Oh,
they
that's
drip.
the section. I
So
see.
that's the section where a lot of the bikers call it. They call it in there, and it's called the Appalachians. And I think it's the ACA, Adventure Cycling Association. They say from Berea, Kentucky, to about Skyline Drive, Blue Ridge Parkway, somewhere's in there. They call that the hardest stretch of the entire. So the Transamerica is 4,000 miles. And
Right.
We're going to circle back around to that in a second.
Sure.
So that's the hardest section. So most people who do the Transamerica route do it from east to west because you can start earlier in the year.
Aha.
We'll get to that too.
Okay.
So they really don't have a lot of time to get legs before they hit the Appalachians. And I can't, even me, when I got there, I was well over 2,500 miles in.
Right.
It's an awakening.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's one thing to go out here and ride your mountain bike or your gravel bike or whatever, but when you're riding a fully loaded touring rig and you're trying to come through like Route 80 from Kentucky through breaks and all of that,
You're on your lowest gear the whole time and going so slow.
Yes.
I know that feeling. But
So when I was piecing all this together, everybody's like, well, are you going to just go to the coast and then come back? And I'm like, no, I had no interest in that, and the title of saying going from coast to coast. It was more, for me, it's more the journey and doing the things that I wanted to do and seeing the things that I wanted to see. And I've ridden most everything east of here anyway.
Sure. Now, did you mention the Skyline Drive, Blue Ridge Parkway? Did you get to ride part of that?
So I had ridden it previously. I've ridden both
gotcha.
of those previously.
Cool. That's a beautiful ride too. I've done that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a wonderful ride.
And it's cool that you can camp as long as you're 200 feet away from the road.
Yes.
Anywhere.
Yes.
That's cool.
So through the desert, I had to get more motels than what I was accustomed to.
I'm sure.
The good news part of that is a lot of these motels and these stores and these businesses that are catering to Route 66, they're very old businesses.
Weren't very expensive.
No, there was a couple nights I got rooms for $37.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And, you're bike touring, so quality doesn't matter. It's a bed.
No. And then once it was night and day when I got off of 66 and got on the Transamerica in Missouri, because they see so many cyclists come through there a year. It reminded me so much of the AT because you had fire stations, rescue squads, churches, town halls, city parks, all of these, and I'm going to show you a map here in a minute.
Yeah.
Just how minute the details that they have gotten to on these maps and this planning, and they show you all of these places that you can stay for free.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I never spent another dime. Once I hit Missouri, I never spent another dime on accommodations.
No kidding.
All the way home.
So it's like trail towns, but bike towns. Kind
Exactly.
of. That's amazing.
Yes.
I'm gonna
And
have to
they
do that.
really cater. They really cater to the bikers.
That's awesome.
Super experience.
Transamerica.
The Transamerica. Everybody calls it the Trans Am. and it's
yeah.
from Yorktown to Astoria, Oregon.
Now, do they do a race on that every year, like a grand
So there's
depart?
There's not a grand depart for the Transamerica, but there is a thing called the Race Across America,
Yeah, I've heard
and
of
it
that.
roughly follows the Transamerica. They change the route every year for several years, and I think they've kind of settled into a route now that they've kept.
I see.
So it does depart from Astoria. I think the last time I checked on the Race Across America,
Okay.
but that's a whole different monster.
Yeah.
That's an entirely different monster.
Yeah. So a grand depart is something that, like the Great Divide has, it's considered a race, but a lot of people start it and then just ride at their own pace.
Exactly.
Just to explain it to you.
And of course, we have one here. I'm sure you're aware of the Trans-Virginia.
Yeah, I've done it.
It's the grand. That's going to. We'll circle back around.
All
to that one
right.
too. So,
It's exciting. Yeah, I have a lot to say about
so
that.
when I was piecing this all together, I said, okay, I can do this route, to this route. You know, I got asked, did you go to ride 66, Route 66? And I'm like, it had everything to do with Route 66 and nothing to do with Route 66.
Huh.
It was just a means for me to get,
To the
from
Trans
from
Am.
California to Missouri was Route
Gotcha.
66. And there
Is
was
it
times,
pretty flat?
pretty much.
Did you ever get bored of riding on it?
There was never a day that I got up that I did not look forward to getting on my bicycle and riding
That's
my
so
bike.
cool. Yeah.
There was never a day. It's just
And that's why you want to get back out and do it again.
the physical part of bike touring versus hiking, say a through hike or whatever, is the physical exhaustion was just not there like it was sometimes on the AT.
Yeah.
You're not out there to go, go into lactic or anaerobic threshold. You're not out there to do any of that.
Right.
You're
Just going
sightseeing
someplace,
on a
yeah.
bicycle.
I love that. Taking your time.
Exactly.
It's about, yeah. How was the weather?
I had a lot of rain in California.
Did you ride anyway?
I rode, except for maybe a couple days. So just like here, if it's the weather, if I feel like it's going to be dangerous for me and the people in a vehicle, depending on the route, I'll just back out of it. I'll just either take a 0 day and try to do some things. But if it's just a pop-up shower here and there and visibility, I'll just keep riding.
Speaking of danger, how is it safe the whole way? Were there ever any times where you felt
There was
danger?
only one instance, and it was in Oklahoma, that I almost got hit by a car. Someone was on their phone.
Oh gosh.
Um,
But there's usually plenty of room for a bike.
some of the states that I went through, the amenities that they provide to cyclists is absolutely amazing.
Good.
If you don't have a bike lane, there were some states like New Mexico was phenomenal, California was phenomenal, Texas was phenomenal. If you didn't have a bike lane, there was a sign that says, if no bike lane provided, cyclists have full use of the right lane. So I learned very quickly, especially in California, so before I went into any new state, I would go online and I would research bike laws
Gotcha.
just to familiarize myself. Helmet
That's
laws, side lock walls, all this. I wanted to know what the rules were. So when you're going through these busier cities, like when I left Santa Monica, LA, in that area, that was a 10-hour ride. That was intense.
Yeah.
I mean, that's intense.
Traffic wise.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what you do is you get in your lane, you ride alert, you ride strong, keep your head on a swivel, and you just go. And the
Yeah.
cars were very, very courteous to that.
Well, that's good. Around here, I've had horrible issues.
And that's where the question you just asked about, was I ever scared?
Yeah.
The worst stretch of the entire 3,300 miles was from Breaks Interstate Park to Highway 11 in Meadowview. I was
awful.
absolutely horrified.
Yeah. I've had horrible issues. And honestly, on the Blue Ridge Parkway,
Yes.
it was the motorcycles.
Yes.
I was fine. A lot of the cars were fine, but the motorcycles would just run right past you, like as close as possible. It was scary. And around here, I wish there were better laws and people were more respectful of cyclists.
So if I'm not mistaken, I think Virginia was the only state that I've cycled through that is considered a sidewalk state. I don't know if you've looked into that,
Tell me about
but
it.
if you look at Virginia's bicycle laws, it's legal to ride on a sidewalk in Virginia.
Yes, I have heard that. Yeah.
Okay. A lot of the states that I went through had signs plainly
Sure.
telling you, do not put your bicycle on the sidewalk.
Yep.
And I disagree with Virginia's.
I agree.
Even when I cycle here, I don't ride I'm just not going to do it.
But they also say you're allowed to use the road.
Yes.
And that cars need to be
Yes.
respectful and go all the way around you in the other lane to get around you. So, but people don't care.
No.
They don't think bikes should be on the road, even though it's a vehicle.
So once I got back, I started commuting every day up until January's not been friendly for a cyclist.
No.
At all. So I started commuting every day to the gym, to the store, library, wherever I needed to go. I just started riding everywhere once I got back.
That's cool.
And it took a while to get used to the traffic. And I thought, well, maybe after 2 or 3 weeks of them seeing me every day at the same time or whatever, they'll get used to it.
No,
It's not how it works.
How do we fix that?
It's awareness,
Yeah,
just a sign,
that would
cyclists
be good.
share the road.
I know my wife, tourism director of Smith County, she's been pushing for more bike signs, bike lanes, trails, and because towns with bike laws like that seem to be nicer, seem to be better. Everybody's nicer. I don't know. There's just something about going to a town that has a bike lane or signs for cyclists that everybody seems happier.
Yeah. It sounds funny to say that I rode through Albuquerque, New Mexico, and didn't have any issues with the traffic.
Yeah.
But when I got to Marion, Virginia, it was a different story.
Bad.
Yeah.
We need to fix this.
And I've looked and studied as I've ridden through town so much, and I don't know that there's room for bike lanes, but there is room for signage.
Signage would be the first step, but eventually we could figure it out, as long as people know that bikes are allowed in a lane.
Yes.
They are considered a vehicle.
Cyclists share the road.
Yes.
And then there's a lot of signs, and I think Virginia actually has this rule too, called the 3-foot rule.
What's that?
And that's that if a car has to pass you, it has to give you 3 feet.
Yes, that is. I think I read something where the car had to go in the complete opposite
If
lane.
it safely can go into the other lane, it has to go into the other lane. But if
Yes.
it can't, it's the 3 feet rule. And if you think about the time it takes for a car to slow down, let the oncoming car pass, and then it go around you, what are we looking at here? 4 seconds, 5 seconds?
Yeah.
Versus hitting a cyclist.
Killing a cyclist,
Yes.
yeah. So that's a smart thing to do is make sure whatever state you're going through, check out the laws.
Yes.
Otherwise, you might be on the sidewalk and could you get a ticket?
Oh, I'm sure you could.
Yeah.
Because once you're in traffic, when you're on the road, you are considered a moving vehicle,
Right.
not a motor vehicle, but a moving vehicle. So
Mhm.
you are subject. Some of the states say you are subject to the same fines.
And assuming you wore a helmet.
Yes, there was
Good.
times I did, and there was times I didn't.
Oh, really?
Yes, just depending on where I was at.
Are there states where you don't have to?
Oh yeah.
Which
there-
states are those?
It's not mandatory. It is. I think Virginia's not even mandatory.
Oh,
I
really?
didn't know. I think it's recommended.
Yeah, I would highly suggest that. I remember being in South Carolina doing the Palmetto Trail.
Yes.
And there was a section where it was very dangerous and I wanted to be on the sidewalk. And a cop came by and said, "You're not allowed on the sidewalk." So I guess South Carolina does not allow sidewalk riding. But
So one of the other things that I found, it was strange at first, and then I actually really enjoyed it. And I think it was I was in Arizona, and had just probably one of the hardest climbs out west I done, and I'm probably going to butcher this name. I think it's called Sitgreaves Pass.
Sitgreaves Pass.
It's in I can't remember the exact name of it. It'll hit me in a minute, and I'll bring it back up. But anyway,
worries.
it was a very, very hard climb. There was no pedaling up this road. There was no pedaling.
Hike a bike?
It was one of those ones where, and it's even so steep, you're not holding on to your handlebars. You've actually got one hand behind the seat.
Oh.
And I know you've pushed, and this is a paved road.
Wow.
Oatman, Arizona.
Okay.
That's where, Grayson has the ponies that roam free. Oatman has donkeys. So if you look at any of my photos or the short videos I put up of my ride, there's pictures of the donkeys. So when I got over this, I'm like, why would they send a cyclist over this pass?
Mm-hmm.
As pretty as this was, why would they do that? And then I got to reading the fine print on the map, and it says use I-40 as a bypass. And I'm like, I-40. So sure enough, got to looking into it, and it's like other than Phoenix, Tucson, big cities like that, you're allowed to ride your bike on interstate.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, okay, wonder what that's like. And then I was like, okay, this is really nice.
Yeah. I mean, you've got plenty of room.
So I've got I-40 here.
Usually.
I've got a 10 to 12 foot lane that's all mine.
Yeah.
And then there's a fence. And then right here is a service road that is Route 66. And it is torn up badly.
Oh.
So I rode hundreds and hundreds of miles on the shoulder of I-40
No kidding.
until you get to Oklahoma. And then you have to study your laws. Oklahoma says no.
What? So you said Oklahoma was not very safe. What was it about Oklahoma?
The main thing was that it took you off of I-40 and put you back in, put you back out on the service roads.
Oh, I see.
That's what they use a lot of is the service roads, and they literally parallel I-40. So
Okay.
I-40 and 66 are one pretty much all the way through the west.
But in Oklahoma, you're not allowed to ride on I-40?
No, you are
I
not.
see.
You are not.
That's
So
too
the bad thing about riding I-40 that I found out the hard way as well is the millions of the slivers of truck tires. So the little metal belting that's in trucks that you can't see
Mm-hmm.
will literally embed in your tires.
Ooh.
Hundreds of them.
Now, did you have tubeless tires?
So no, I run
Okay.
tubes. And it got to the point where I thought, I'm not even going to enjoy this anymore if I can't figure this out.
Right.
So the secret to it was to get off of I-40.
I see.
As nice as it was not worth it to have to deal with flats every single day.
Did you have to deal with flats every day? on I-40?
Once you get the first one, it's game on. And I would sit in my tent, my campsite, my room, wherever I was at, and the only way that I could find those slivers was to take toilet tissue, something that's extremely tender, for lack of better terms, and you rubbed it around the inside of your tire.
Huh.
And everywhere you seen a speck of toilet paper, there
That's
was a metal shard, and you had to go in there and try to find that and pull it out.
Huh.
And you're only going to do that for so long.
I highly suggest tubeless tires.
Okay.
It's amazing because the sealant in there, you can get a hole and it'll seal up and you can keep riding. And if you get a hole, there's these little tools that you stick in there, fill up the tire and go. I think I've gotten 2 flat tires on bikepacking trips and it took me 5 minutes.
Okay.
So, but speaking of gear, you touring, or do you have any more about the trip? So what kind of bike for a bike tour across the country did you use?
So I have it's a 2014, I believe. It is a specialized AWOL.
Okay.
It's called Adventure Without Limits.
Is it a drop bar?
It
flat
is a
bar?
drop bar, and it is specialized as equivalent to the Surly Long Haul Trucker.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Why they quit making them, I do not know. So that had been a lot of 2024. That had been, okay, I know this is coming. I need to start either building what bike I have, which we can get back around to that too.
Yeah.
And I got up one morning and was on Facebook Marketplace. This was like a Saturday or Sunday morning, 6 a.m. I turn on Marketplace and pops up a 54 centimeter specialized AWOL in Abington.
Oh, wow.
For sale with a 5 Ortlib bag package.
Oh,
Fenders, lights, computer.
everything.
It was all you had to do was sit on this bike and ride. He gave extra tubes, extra pedals, and everything.
And Ortley bags are great.
And they're not cheap either.
I know.
And it's the Ortlib back rollers.
Yeah.
It was the complete set,
That's amazing.
including the handlebar bag.
Very cool.
Everything.
Did you do the, what are they called, that hang over the back tire? Or did you do the seat bag?
No. So that's, thinking out loud, I think that's one of the differences between what we would call bike touring versus bike packing. So a true touring rig, and I never seen my first cyclist till I got to Missouri.
Oh, wow.
And so I started seeing different ways that people were carrying, but the predominant method for touring long distance like that across the pavement and all across the United States was to run panniers.
Yes, that's
instead
the
of
word.
a seat bag.
Yep. I don't do a lot of touring, so I do have some, and I usually, if a friend is going, I'll let them use it because it's the extra gear, but I usually use a seat bag.
Yes.
So is your bike steel?
It's steel.
Nice. I've got a Surly
Yes.
midnight special right now.
Okay.
So it's more a road bike, but I still bike pack with it.
So one of the things about the true touring bikes is, if you know the terminology of bike, the sections or parts of a bike, there's a place called a chainstay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the distance from where your crank goes through your bottom bracket to the center of your rear wheel.
Right.
So generally on a true touring bike, that's going to be a little longer,
Ah,
in the 450, 460 range.
that's good to know.
And that gives you heel clearance for your bigger bags.
I see.
So your gravel bikes are going to have a shorter chainstay, give you a little bit better handling off-road.
I see.
And that's why a lot of people will have to move some of their gear up, is for heel clearance. Now,
My problem is I need a seat dropper a lot of the times,
Mhm.
because I'll fall right forward going down a hill sometimes. Because I'm top heavier, so I have to get a seat dropper, and I can't put a seat bag on there.
Nope.
So I got the Aero Spider thing that works really well. But more about bike touring. Talk about the bags for your bike. Like, what bags do you use specifically? Like the front bag?
So I run 2 front panniers on a front rack.
Oh, front. Okay.
I run 2 front panniers. I run 2 rear panniers, and then I run a bar bag. And the bar bag was it's instrumental.
I mean, the frame bag or the
You could probably pull up Ortlab's website and look at their full back roller set.
Uh-huh.
It's a hard bag with a magnetic lid on it. The top of the bag is a map pouch, which we can.
And that's on the front handlebars,
This
right?
is right in your cockpit.
Nice.
So in my cockpit, I had the bag with the map bag on top of that. You carry in there the things that you need through the day, your snacks.
Mm-hmm.
I had a phone mount, and then I had a light. And I think I used a light twice. I rode in the dark twice, and I said I would never do it again.
It's awful.
It is not. It's one thing to ride a gravel Forest Service road at night. That's one thing. But when
It's still awful, but
I left the Mojave Desert one morning just thinking, this will be calm. I can do this on 66 through Amboy. No,
just scary.
never do it again.
Yeah. That's
So I
fair.
never used my light.
So what kind of map did you use? Sorry.
I use paper maps.
Paper maps the whole way.
Yep, I will show you one. They're amazing. We can get into the adventure cycling, how this all pans out.
Uh-huh.
I use paper maps, and then I used Ride with GPS.
Love Ride with GPS.
It is a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
I didn't use it for direction. I just use it to track my mileage.
Right.
I wanted to get as
so
close
you
as
know what's going on the map. That's
and the maps are so precise. It's the AWOL. Their maps are the AWOL guide for bike touring.
oh, nice.
They're that good.
Okay. I'll have to check them out.
I brought some
Okay.
to
Cool.
show you.
Nice.
So I once or twice I might have had to go to Google just to make sure, because these maps, it's like when you get them, it might say the last printing was 2021. So this is
Things will
2026.
change. Yeah.
So you go to the website, you go to that map, and you pull up updates, and it'll tell you,
Uh-huh.
it'll tell you the changes.
Do they have online versions of
So
the map?
now they have just partnered with Ride with GPS.
Oh, good.
And all of their maps are now available. They're still the same price, but they are now available through Ride with GPS. Once you're you buy the membership, I think
Yeah.
it's $50 a year for Ride with GPS.
That's what I have. Yeah.
You can either go through them or go to Adventure Cycling. You purchase your map. They send you an email with a link. You go to Ride with GPS, and it downloads it to your. If you want to use it
For offline and
just however you want to use it. If you've
Cool.
got a bike computer, I use a phone.
Yeah. The issue, I tried a bike computer. It's so small, but when I use my phone, the battery dies so fast.
So that's once you're a member with GPS and you get those maps downloaded, you put your phone in airplane mode.
Yeah.
And that's how I hiked, is I kept my phone in airplane mode
Right.
the whole time. So when you ride, you just do. But I never had phone issues.
Nice.
I mean, there was very few times I did not have service.
Gotcha.
If you think coming all the way across, but
There's gotta be
it was
some,
very,
but
very
yeah.
few, very
Nice.
few times.
Sorry to get us off the subject of the gear. The front panniers.
Okay.
What did you keep up there?
So thinking of the way you sit on a bike, your body weight is mainly over the rear axle.
Uh-huh.
So your rear bags are about twice the size of your front bags.
Right.
So, but you actually want the least amount of weight in your rear bags. So in one bag would be my sleeping bag or quilt.
In the front?
In the back.
In the back. Sorry.
I would have my sleeping bag and quilt, and maybe my mat, my sleeping mat, or maybe my pillow. The other side would be my clothing items.
Okay.
My spare clothing items. You always kept your rain gear one move from being able to get it to put it on. So you usually stayed right on top of the clothing bag.
Gotcha.
Then on my rack, the top of my rack is your tent. That's where everybody puts their tent. Now your heavier items, which doesn't make sense, goes into your front wheel.
So it's kind of like packing a backpack. You put all your quilt and stuff in the bottom of the backpack, but it's in the back.
Right.
And the tent on top of that.
So the
then
tent,
in the front,
so the tent is the only thing that I carried that was not physically in a pannier. So
Yeah.
it was in a waterproof bag,
just strapped on top.
and I just strapped it onto the rack that holds your panniers. And there's pictures of those too on the Facebook where I sent pictures back of my trip. So
Yeah.
it shows how that works. Then in the front is your tool bag, your extra tubes, and stuff like that. In one side,
Food.
then the other side would be like your food, and you don't have to carry a lot of food.
Right. Because you can,
Maybe a day at most.
for touring, you
There's
stop it.
very
Yeah.
few stretches, and the maps will tell you. I think the longest stretch was a little over 100 miles that they said there was very little service.
Gotcha.
But there's, carry a
You'll
day
find
at the
something.
most. So each evening I would make sure that my handlebar bag had enough stuff in it,
Snacks for
just
the
as
day.
snacks to get you through, because you're just riding from town to town.
Yeah. How many calories do you think you were burning a day?
You're not cooking as many as the AT, but I'd say you're still in the
4,000.
I'd say you're still in the
5,000.
4,000 to 5,000 range.
Yeah.
But
It's
it's
not
easy.
easy, but it's
It's easier to replenish those.
right. Did you use electrolytes and stuff like that?
I laughed when I got back. I said I probably could have been sponsored by Body Armor,
Oh, yeah.
because that's what got me through a lot of the ride was the body. I drink Body Armors,
Nice.
and then I kept, just like I did on the AT, I kept a flash IV, some type of liquid IV
So
drink. I kept a bottle. I kept a spare bottle of water, a small one like I'm drinking on now, and then I kept a rapid hydration drink in my one in each of my rear bags, and they were emergency. And then I had 2 1-liter bottles on my frame, and that's what I drank up during the day.
So when you hiked the AT, you said you basically ate the same thing every day.
Yes,
Did you find that you did the same thing riding?
you will get burnt out on fast food.
Yeah.
On a 3,500 mile bike ride, you'll get burnt out.
Were you as strict about your budget?
Yes, very strict.
Okay.
So the best bang for your buck out there for me was Subway,
Oh,
because you can eat rather healthy at a Subway.
yeah. Get those vegetables in.
You can go in. I could go in and stop at one at lunch and ask the folks, hey, I want a whole turkey and cheese, half I want fully dressed, the other half not. They would say, fine, we'll do it. I stuck the other half in my bag, and when I got to camp at night, I had a whole half of a sub for dinner.
Nice. That's smart.
Yes.
Cool. What else? What other tricks or food?
It takes some sugar. I'm a big sugar. I don't like sugar.
Yeah.
I
agree.
it's not a good thing. But sometimes out there, you gotta have it.
Yeah.
Even
It's
the
your
doctor will
energy.
tell you it's your energy. So I didn't drink the like the Body Armors. I got the sugar,
The full sugar.
the full sugar.
Yeah. That's what I would do too.
I carried a lot of peanuts. I ate a lot of like salted caramel nuts
Okay.
that you could get at the dollar store and
Yeah.
places like that. I carried a lot of those. They done real well. Of course, I still had my coffee and hot chocolate every morning.
Oh yeah.
I still do that at home.
Yeah.
Um,
I've started doing the Element chocolate, the
Okay.
electrolytes.
Okay.
It's so good. What was I going to say? You go ahead.
But you can, so for dinners, the nights that I didn't have Subway, you can pretty much choose what kind of restaurant you want to go to. Even if you have to go to a McDonald's or a Burger King, you can get something. You can get a grilled chicken, but you'll get you'll get tired. So the nicer towns that you went through that had restaurants, true restaurants, you crave vegetables, you crave fruit when you're doing stuff like that. So there was nothing any better than to go and just tear a salad bar up.
Now, did you like the AT? Did the trail provide? Were there times where you?
Yes. I don't know how many times I would pull into this little no-name gas station on this no-name road in the middle of nowhere and just have craving for a coffee. You roll up on your bike, you park your bike, you walk in, and I'd get a coffee, and I'd go to the counter, and they just wave you off.
Wow.
Just wave you off.
That's awesome.
And didn't want to talk to you about where you're from.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Where'd you leave from?
Did you ever meet somebody and ride with them? No.
So the only bikers I ever met once I got to Missouri, and then the last one was just before I left Kentucky to come into Virginia, was the last time I'd seen another biker. Everybody was headed westbound. Everybody was heading westbound.
Is that the most popular way to go?
Yeah, because you can start earlier in the year.
Oh, right.
Because that's why I've got a trip coming up. We can talk about it as well, but I'm going to have to leave later, not leave Oregon until like the 1st of June, because you can't get through those passes because the snow is still there.
Oh, yeah.
So if you start on the East Coast, you can leave in April and by the time you get there, those passes are open.
Gotcha.
This episode is brought to you by Jolly Gear, where fun meets functional and through hiker flair meets serious performance. Need protection from the sun? Technical fabrics that keep you moving without overheating? Jolly Gear's Triple Crown button down is a sun shirt hybrid masterpiece. Hoods with ventilation, thumb holes for extra coverage, chest zip pockets, breathable fabrics, and UPF protection so your skin stays protected mile after mile. Now I have 12 of these shirts, long sleeve and short sleeve. You've probably seen me wear them in videos. I love them. And Jolly puts out new designs every year, and I can't help it. I collect them like trading cards. And let's be honest, too many sun shirts make you look like a divorced geography teacher on a field trip. Well, not Jolly Gear. And Jolly's always innovating too. New products, new fabrics. He's even got a hiking dress for those of us who want a little extra freedom and versatility. He's got flip-flopper sun sleeves that turn any short sleeve into full sun armor, neck gaiters, and hats perfect for hiking. This isn't just style. It's function that backs you up on every ridgeline, canyon bottom, and hot gravel road you tackle. And Jolly is giving Chafed Outdoors listeners 15% off with code CHAFED. That's CHAFED. So if you're headed out for long days, long miles, or just want gear that feels good and performs, head over to jollygear.com. Up your comfort, up your protection, and do it with style.
It's smart to go somewhere and then ride home.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah. During COVID, I could do that. My family and I would go on vacation. I'd say, all right, I'll see you in a few days. I'm going to ride home.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So this next trip I've got coming up, it's going to be a whole lot.
Tell us about it.
So I am going to start where I started last year.
Okay.
In Half Moon Bay. Let me back up a minute.
Yeah.
I got it. So the bucket list items. So these are all bucket list items.
Sure.
So one of the other things that was a bucket list item was a train ride.
Oh.
So if anybody out there is wondering, well, how did you get from Marion, Virginia to Half Moon Bay?
Yeah.
All right. We have family in San Francisco.
Okay.
So I mailed my panniers and my gear to their house.
Mm-hmm.
Jacinda took me to Charleston, West Virginia, and I got on an Amtrak.
Awesome.
78 hours later, I got off that Amtrak.
Did you have a bed or did you have a seat?
Nope, sat in a chair just like I'm sitting in right now. And I
took your tire off and put your bike.
You don't even have to take your tire off.
I had to from Roanoke to D.C. They made me take my tire off.
What kind of train were you on?
I don't know, passenger something.
So that's a whole.
It just depends.
That's a whole nother.
Where did you have to keep your bike? Near you?
So when I booked my ticket, I told them that I had a bike. So you've got checked and you've got carry on.
Right.
So only certain trains will allow you to take your bike in what's called a baggage car.
Uh-huh.
So that's why I had to go to Charleston, West Virginia to get on the train.
I see.
Is because that train, which goes all the way across the United States, has a baggage car. So you literally, when it pulled up at Charleston, I literally just walked back there and the guy was standing there waiting on me. He knew that he had one passenger with a bike.
Mm-hmm.
I handed him a bike and he put it in the train and I never seen it again until I got to Chicago.
Nice. Okay.
Now, you can take your panniers. You don't have to ship your panniers, but I thought.
You could just take everything, yeah.
Just take everything. But now when you put your bike in the baggage car, you have to take your panniers off.
Ah,
So whether they'll let you leave them in the baggage car or do you have to take them inside your train car, your actual passenger car is a different story.
right.
So I thought,
Why did you see your bike in Chicago?
So
Sorry.
I thought, do I really want? I had to change trains in Chicago.
Oh, I see.
So I was like, do I really want to have to fight trying to find these 4 panniers
No.
and my bike, put it together inside Chicago's Amtrak station, which is about the size of Marion.
Yeah.
And so I just smelled them out. And so when we pulled into Chicago, I walked to the back of the train. The guy's standing there. He hands me my bike. You walk in the Amtrak station. You go to baggage claims. Is basically what it is. I had a 3-hour layover.
Okay.
I gave them my bike. They gave me a ticket. I went to the restaurant, got me something to eat, sat and relaxed, walked around. Hour for my train ride. I went back to the baggage thing. He gave me my
Got your
bike
bike.
back, put it on the train, and I didn't see it again until we got to San Francisco.
Awesome. Riding a train is an experience.
I wouldn't trade that for anything.
I bet.
People's like, oh, how did you do? I was like, it was one of the greatest things I've ever done.
I want to do that with my family so bad. Ride across the country. Is it a kind of ticket where you could get off and then get back on? Or was it just.
So they'll tell you as you travel, he'll say, okay, we're coming up on, just pick a town.
Yeah.
This, we're coming up onto this town in Arizona. We'll call this a smoke stop.
Okay.
He said, so if those of you that need a cigarette, you can get off, and that's literally it, and get back on and we're leaving.
Okay.
Or he'd say, hey, this is a passenger pickup spot. Nobody can depart the train. And then I think we got to somewhere in New Mexico, and he called it a break stop. And they gave us 30 or 40 minutes.
Oh.
And he told you, he pulls the train in, he says, walk through the station, out the front door, across the street, take a right, and there's a convenience store if you want to stock up on snacks and be back on the train. And then there is a food car.
Huh. Yeah.
And then
You can go eat.
you can go eat. I don't recommend it. The snack car, I don't recommend that. But then
Gotcha.
you, depending on how much you want to spend, you can go pretty luxurious on the train.
Yeah. Did you experience a meal on the train?
I did not.
Okay.
I went
You brought your own
True
food. And,
lightning budget form.
very nice. Of
Um,
course.
And what little I did eat from there, it's just microwave food.
Yeah.
But I would go down every morning and asked him for a large cup of hot water,
Make your coffee.
Cafe Bustelo, my stuff, make my
Yeah.
coffee, sit there and look out the window and watch some amazing scenery.
That sounds awesome.
Then they have a viewing car,
Okay.
which is a whole glass dome
Oh, wow.
that you can go up and you're elevated and you can look out.
There's a train ride across Canada I want to do
Yes.
that has that.
I cannot recommend a train ride.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It was amazing. And I'm doing it again this year.
Yeah. Take it. That's awesome.
Yes.
I love the idea of you won't be in a car for a whole year, basically.
Yeah.
Train to bike.
Right.
Ride home.
That's and when I started commuting, when I got back from this trip last year, I loved it.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it.
Now on the AT, you had some crazy stories. Are there any crazy stories you can share about that trip across the country that pop out? Or was it pretty chill?
I guess there's two. I was in Arizona. I was west of a town called Williams, and I stayed in a campground. And I remember I was getting up the next morning and packing, and the camp host come over and he asked me, are you aware of the weather that's coming in? And I was like, well, I noticed it got a little chilly last night, but I said, it's okay. 25 degrees, you can still ride.
Yeah.
So I roll into this town of Williams, Arizona, and I went into McDonald's to get a coffee. And I'm sitting in the, looking out, watching all the traffic and everything, and it starts pouring with snow. I'm talking, you can't even hardly see the road anymore. 4 days later, I got out of Williams, Arizona.
Wow.
So I got a room.
Yeah.
I was woken up somewhere around 2 or 3 in the morning. I heard this terrible noise. I got up and opened my curtains, and they were out there with heavy equipment trying to get the ice and snow off the road.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, I don't think you can ride in this.
Nope.
So I'm like, now what in the world?
Take a break.
So when I was planning the trip, I knew that there was a connector trail route out of Williams that took you to the Grand Canyon.
Ooh.
So I'm like, but I'm not riding my bike in this.
Right.
I didn't know until literally I was there and got my room that I was sitting right next to what's called the Grand Canyon Railroad.
Did you take a train?
So I went over and got on another train,
There you go.
and it took me to the Grand Canyon and dropped me off. I spent the day, and then I rode the train back.
Wow.
And then, like I said, I think I was stuck there for 4 days. That turned into be a good a
That's
bad thing. It
great
turned into a really good thing.
Yeah.
The Grand Canyon was amazing.
I was about to say, you can ride your bike through there, right?
No,
Or no, you can't.
you have to carry it.
That's right. I did know
So
that.
if you do the Arizona Trail,
to carry your
you
bike
have
through,
to take your bike apart and carry it all the
or
way
hire
through.
somebody to take it around for
Yes.
you. That's right. I did learn that.
And then the only other story, I guess, it was in Kentucky. I had left the little college town of Berea
Mm-hmm.
and had gone down and was getting on not a major highway. It'd be about like number 11 coming through here. It was really busy. I had a very narrow shoulder. And I looked up ahead of me and I seen what I thought was a recap of a tire that is shredded or something that had landed on the side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, man, that's really not giving me a lot of room on my shoulder. I'm going to have to ease over. But I said, I can get close enough to it and still not get hit and go around it. And it was not a retread. It was a snake.
Oh.
And it struck. As I went by, it struck.
Oh.
And I jerked my feet up. And then the next thing I heard is I heard car tires squealing because I had jerked my bike out into traffic.
Oh.
Just out of reflex, I had jerked my bike out into traffic.
Yikes.
And so I stopped and I looked, and the guy, he's not happy.
No.
He's wearing me out. He's got a passenger, and I get the passenger to roll his window down. And I said, look, laying outside your window. And he looked and he's like, gotcha.
What kind of snake was it?
Rattlesnake.
A rattlesnake. I ran into a rattlesnake in Florida.
Okay.
It was all sand, basically. And I was going around a corner, and I heard that jump for me. Freaked me out.
I seen one snake all the way till that point,
Yeah.
and it was in Texas, and it had been run over.
Gotcha.
That was one of the other, I hate to say disappointments, but I did not see a lot of wildlife.
Huh.
I was really
Well,
hoping to, but
Near in the road, probably. Tough thing.
I didn't see until I actually took the train into the Grand Canyon. I seen elk, coyotes,
Mhm.
things like that. But other than that, just a few new bird species. Nothing
Darn.
major.
Maybe the next trip.
Maybe the next trip.
Speaking of, I just want to make sure we're good
Okay.
before I. Yep. Let's talk about your next adventures.
Okay.
We already know you're gonna ride the train across the country again to Oregon. No,
So
back to
I'll go back to San Francisco.
San Francisco.
To Half Moon Bay. So the route through California, Oregon, Washington, and all that is called the Pacific Coast Highway.
Mm-hmm.
It is one of the most amazing things you will ever see, much less ride a bike on.
Right.
It is. I can't even put into words how spectacular that ride is.
Nice.
That you can literally stop every 10 or 15 miles and there's a beach or a park or somewhere that you can just, and they have,
Did you camp on the beach?
so they have, yes. And that's not as glorious as it sounds because you
Yeah.
have to listen to the waves crashing all night.
Sure,
But-
sure.
But they have a thing out there called hiker biker sites. Have you ever
Oh.
heard of those?
No.
Most of them were $5 and there's no turn away. They've just,
And no matter
they've just
what.
taken an area of a park or a natural area or a beach, and they said if you hiked in here or rode your bike in here, you can camp over there.
Wow.
And if most of the time, if there were showers available, it was a $10 site,
Mm-hmm.
and if there was nothing, it was $5. And sometimes they just told you to go put your tent up and sleep. Have a great night.
Very cool.
Very nice. So I will leave Half Moon Bay this time and ride north
Okay. Through
to
Oregon, Washington.
I'm not going into Washington.
Okay.
That's a whole nother
Yeah.
whole nother episode. I don't know if I'm going all the way to Astoria. So Astoria is the westernmost terminus of the Transamerica Trail.
Gotcha.
But the first 100 or so miles of it comes back south, right back down the coast.
Hmm.
So I'm actually going to be riding across the start of my ride. I would have to ride to Astoria and then turn around and come back. I may still do it.
Yeah.
If the route is nice and the weather, I may just go on up and come back. If not, then I'll just turn due west or due east.
The Oregon coast is gorgeous.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this one will take me. And at that point, I will transit over to the Transamerica route,
And doing that.
and I'll do the Transamerica route until Colorado.
Okay.
In Colorado, one of the newer routes is what's called the Eastern Express.
Okay.
So the Eastern Express takes out a lot of the Southern Rockies in
Okay.
Colorado. It takes out a lot of that,
Not as much climbing.
right? And it gives you a different scenery through Kansas, because anybody that's ridden the Trans Am will tell you that Kansas and out through there is absolutely miserable
Okay.
because it's just flat, it's very
Yeah.
hot, and the headwinds. So the Eastern Express skirts that into Missouri, and I'll get to do the Katy Trail.
Katy Trail.
The Katy Trail is another rails to trail.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
one of the
longest ones?
It's 300 and some miles.
Cool.
And then I will take that into Indianapolis, and then I will transfer from the Eastern Express to what's called the Chicago to New York route.
Huh.
I will take that to Pittsburgh,
Okay.
and then you can know what's coming to
Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
Allegheny.
Allegheny and C&O to
Yeah.
D.C.
It's awesome.
I will, and then from D.C. I
Trans-Virginia.
will get on to Trans-Virginia and ride back home.
That's a bikepacking route. Trans-Virginia.
Yeah.
There's trails. It's hard.
But there's two routes. There's
Yeah,
an
there's
upper
the
and a-
lower.
So I will do the lower simply
Gotcha,
because of the bike I'm on.
Smart. Yeah.
So that's the greatest thing about bike travel is, okay, I don't want to take this route. Just go to Google,
Yeah,
put
find
in your
another way.
put into your destination, click the bicycle icon, and it'll show you.
Yeah, when I first started bikepacking, I was so strict about doing what the route said. But over the years, I've been like, this is my trip.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
gonna, I don't want to climb this giant mountain.
Right.
Let's find a way around it. We'll go to town today.
Yes.
Get some food. It's amazing.
It's bike touring. It was much more relaxed. It
Yeah,
was just
yeah.
Very, very relaxed.
I want to do it all.
Jacinda even said, she goes, I think you're going to get bored because it's going to be so relaxed compared to the hike or the other things. And it was anything but.
Never have. I mean, you're wanting to do it again.
Yeah.
How many miles is next year's?
So next year, it's actually this year.
This year. Oh yeah, it's this year.
It's going to be in excess of 4,000, I think.
Wow. When do you start?
I will probably go out in late April
Okay.
to have a start in California somewhere around the 1st of May, the first week of May, because it's about 800 miles. I think it's about 800 miles from San Francisco to Astoria.
Gotcha. Will there still be snow in May out there in the
So
hike?
when I left last year, that's another funny story. I sent my shoes home the second day.
Oh,
The second day I was in California, I said, okay, I can't do. I rode the entire route in sandals.
oh wow.
You remember the Arizona story?
Yeah.
I got caught in a blizzard
Oh no. In sandals.
in sandals. I went to the Grand Canyon
Wow.
in 20-degree weather in
In
sandals.
sandals.
That's why I'd sent my shoes home.
An experience
It's
right
an
there.
But
Where did you wear shorts the whole time too?
so I had I wore a pair of baggy. They're mountain bike shorts.
Padded.
So I wore a chamois
Okay.
underneath my shorts. So when you ride that long of a distance,
Mhm.
you've really got to take care of your bottom.
Yeah.
You really, because if you break the
Becomes a
skin,
callus.
if you break the skin, you're done.
Yeah.
You're not going to ride anymore. Your
Right.
ride's over. You might as well just find your way home. So I carry 2 chamois. You ride one, you wash the one wherever you can wash it, and then I put it on my tent bag
To dry.
to dry. The
Mhm.
next day you rotate out.
Yeah.
But I found as I'm riding that much, 8, 10 hours a day, 6 hours a day, that chamois absorbs a lot of moisture.
It does.
So moisture and friction are your killers.
Yeah.
So since I've been home and have ridden, other than this here lately because of the weather, ridden almost 6 days a week, I've not ridden a chamois one
Gone
time.
without chamois. So you're gonna
Without-
try it without saying
I
chamois?
think I'm
Very
going to
nice.
take one.
Well, your bottom also adapts to being on a bike seat for that long.
Yes.
So you're probably adapted to be able to be. I know that whenever I'm riding a lot, it's numb. Like there's a spot where I can sit there for hours and not feel anything.
So if you're going to do a grand tour or something of that magnitude, I can't recommend any other saddle other than a Brooks.
I've got a Brooks, yeah.
A Brooks B17, and that's what I
I
wore.
have the exact same thing.
I have 2 of them.
I agree.
It's just it conforms to you, and you want to talk about weathered and broken in. By the time I got back, it
I
was
bet.
it was.
You're gonna switch it out for this trip?
No,
No?
no, it's a Brooks. They're for
Yeah.
lifetime.
That's true. Did you ever get a bike fitting?
No, so I've cycled my whole life.
I see.
I've cycled my whole life, so I knew when this bike popped up and it said it was a 54. I knew right then.
That's
So
what I
That's me.
ride too.
It's a very common size. That's why they're so hard to find.
Yeah.
But the bike packing is something that I've done a trip in 2022. I think I made a route of my own, leaving from home and returning to home. It was 3 days, 125 miles or something like that. But even on my bikepacking bike, a gravel bike, adventure bike, whatever you want to call it, I still have the rack that I can put panniers on.
Yeah.
I don't run a seat bag.
Gotcha. I stopped doing that just because of the dropper.
Yeah.
But the spider rack that I have, I also have these pods that can go on the side that kind of look like a pannier. I really like those.
And I run a basket.
Oh,
The handiest thing you've ever put on
Yeah.
the bike is a basket.
that's a great idea.
So when
Put your bag
I
there.
commute every day, I've got one of those soft-sided lunch coolers
Uh-huh.
that sits right in the basket. Put a bungee over it. It's got my stuff in it for the day.
Eventually, you're gonna have a little trailer to get groceries and.
That's the only thing that I can't do is I can't figure out how to
Not
grocery
around
shop.
here. If you were living in like Boulder or something,
Yeah.
I'm sure
I
it'd be
just can't
easier
see
to
me
make it
riding
work.
back through town of Marion with a trailer with all Food Line and Walmart bags in the back of it with the
Yeah.
traffic. So,
Not here.
so that's the day I have to drive is I have to go get groceries. So.
Nice. So this next year, what are you marking off your bucket list?
So it will be the rest of the PCH. So that will have me covering the PCH from Los Angeles to Astoria.
Mm-hmm.
I'll knock off the western section of the Transamerica Trail, which will take me, I get to see Yellowstone and the Tetons, which I've already
amazing.
been to Yellowstone, but not the Tetons. The route literally takes you right through both parks.
Wow.
I'll get to see the Colorado Rockies, the Katy Trail,
Mm-hmm.
CNO and the Gap, and the Trans Virginia.
I did the CNO in the Gap last year.
Yeah, I'll get to. So all
good.
those were bucket lists. Plus, I get a bonus train ride again.
That's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
So why not hike again?
I'm not.
Not
I'm
that-
not saying that there's not one. I think my brain thinks out.
I see.
So as I'm planning this bike ride coming up, my mind is also thinking, what do you want to do next?
Nice.
What are you going to do next?
What is
So
it?
there's things that has piqued my interest. The Florida Trail has got my interest.
Mm-hmm.
Jacinda and I've always wanted to go Natchez Trace, where she could follow me and I could cycle the Natchez Trace. It's only
Cool.
400 some miles. So that might be
Possibility?
something there. And then have you ever heard the term micro adventures?
No. Tell me.
So have you ever heard of a guy or read, and I may butcher his first name, Alistair Humphreys? Have you ever heard that name?
It feels familiar, but I can't
Okay.
say.
You need to
for
look this.
definite.
You need to look
Okay.
him up. Wonderful. So he talks about micro adventures,
Okay.
and I've been giving this a lot of thought as well. So everybody's like, I can't take the time that you do to ride a bike across. I can't take the time to cycle or to hike the AT or whatever. He talks about micro adventures. He's like, just get you a bike. It doesn't, or you don't even have to do it on a bike. You can do it but leave from your house. So say here, a micro adventure would be, I could leave on a Saturday morning, get on my bike, ride anywhere there's national forest, anywhere where there's a park. Take your time, enjoy, stop and see on the way, find you a place to camp, and then ride back the next day. Ride back to your house the next day.
That's
He-
what I do.
He
Yeah.
talks about that so much. in his
Micro
book.
adventures. I
And
love
it's called
that.
micro adventures.
Yeah.
So I even broke it down even further than that on my daily commute. So I would leave in the morning. You probably would giggle if you see my bike, but there would be my basket with my lunch bucket and all that in the handlebar, and in the back you would see my waders and my boots and my fly rod sticking up out of the back of it,
Uh-huh.
and then I had my backpack on. So I would leave home, I would go to the gym, leave the gym. Sometimes one of my favorite things to do was go to the library. So I'd go to the library and read a book or something, sit outside, eat lunch, maybe go to the creek and fish a while, and just spend the day on my bike from the house, and then ride back home in the evening.
Love that.
And that's what he calls a micro adventure.
Would you ever take your fly rod across country? Have you thought about a Tenkara rod?
I thought about it, but
Not.
I think just the logistics of it,
Mm-hmm.
of getting the license for all the states, and then
Oh,
only
yeah.
being there for a limited period of time.
I didn't think about that.
And then as much as I love to fly fish, that there was areas that it would take me a while to leave.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's like when I done foothills, that somebody said, "Did you take your fly rod?" And I was like, "No," because I would probably still be at the foothills.
You wouldn't have finished it.
No, I wouldn't have finished.
Very cool. So how we end the podcast is we talk about what gear we're excited about right now. Yeah. Do you have anything that you're excited about, or even that you've had forever that you'll just stick with for the rest of your life? What do you want to tell people about?
So those that watched our AT thing, you know that I preach and praise Pariah gear.
Yeah, me too.
Guess what gear I brought 3,500 miles across the country?
Pariah gear.
The exact same gear.
The same tent you
the
had.
same tent, the same mat, the same bag, the same cook kit, everything.
I tell everybody about Pariah.
I brought it all the way.
We sell it here, yeah.
Now my tent got it's getting threadbare.
Yeah.
Because you can only shove that thing a few hundred times. It's getting threadbare. But the mat, everything else.
Now with the lifetime warranty for them,
all you got to do is call them.
Are they going to replace your tent?
Yeah.
That's so cool. Remember that. Pariah Outdoors makes amazing quality, affordable gear.
And it's not heavy.
It's not heavy.
It's not that heavy.
Yeah.
No.
Especially once you like get rid of the stuff that comes in the pack. Like the trail weight is perfect. Like 3 pounds.
Yes.
Yeah.
And on a bike, it means even less on a bike.
Yeah, of course.
I had the little waterproof bag that the tent went in, the tent and the fly and the ground sheet all went in there. And then the bag and the mat and the pillow and things like that went into one of my saddlebags all the way across.
I did forget to ask you, what was your average mileage per day?
So
I know that's something you think about, or at least probably.
When I finally got done and calculated everything up, my average miles per day was about 58 to 60. So like on the AT, after so long, you'll settle in, and let's say an 18 to a 22 mile. It's kind of like the common sweet spot for a lot of people.
Right.
But when you cycle, you'll find that there's those same sweet spots
60.
apply.
Yeah.
So if you can maintain 10 miles, and it doesn't sound like much, but 10 miles an hour, 10 to 12 miles an hour.
Going up mountains, that's not easy. Yeah.
It'll be days you can, there'll be days you can't.
Right.
But I come to find that a 60-mile day was a very comfortable day.
That sounds right. Yeah.
I think my longest day was 92.
Have you ever done a century?
I've done a century, but I did not do one on this trip. I've done a
Gotcha.
92, and then I think my shortest day was 17. That was the snowstorm day.
Gotcha.
But there's no need to get in any kind of hurry.
Right. No, absolutely. Yeah, my problem is I'm alone. I'm like, I can do 180 miles. I'm crazy. Yeah, but I probably wouldn't do that if I was going across country with no time limit.
Like I said, there's the physical part and the mental part of the AT versus bike touring it's night and day. It's just absolutely night and day.
Yeah.
Now you can stress yourself out with planning.
Right.
I think there's actually a term for that, but I'm not sure what it is. But trying to plan out the next day or looking so far ahead, and it's just a waste of time.
Yeah. If you've got no time limit and you're just go.
So I'd do just like on the AT at night. I'd look and I'd say, okay, what's 60 miles out? And it'd be like, okay, there's no town. All right, what's there? The maps will show you what's there. And I might have to ride an 80-mile day. I might have to ride a 50-mile day.
But at the end, it averaged to around 60.
And then I also found that I would start, most mornings I was riding by 7 a.m.
Gotcha.
And that's just me. And there was very few days that I rode past 2 p.m.
Wow.
I was
I love
there.
that.
I could stop. I could rest. I could see the town.
Did you ever bonk? Like really just had to stop because you were
There was
exhausted?
one stretch in Missouri right before I rolled into Springfield. I was on the struggle. I was struggling that day. It was the heat and the lack of amenities. There was, from the time I left to the time I hit Springfield, there was nothing.
Gotcha.
And it was an 80 plus mile day of just grinding it out. Oof. That would have probably been one of the harder days, other than once I literally got back to home.
So you fed yourself well. You kept up with everything. So.
Yes, I still lost weight. I don't think there's
no way
that you're not going to do that.
Sure.
But, everybody's like, "What did you wear? What did you wear?" I can't. And I wore a pair of baggy shorts, a long sleeve white sun shirt, button up slim shirt, and my Bedrocks.
Nice.
And
that
flats.
sounds great.
It's just something that you would think, hey, I'm going to jump on the bike, and ride down here to the store. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of clothes you wear.
I feel like that's pretty normal for people who ride across, ride 3,000
and
4,000 miles.
I've seen it all. The riders coming. It was amazing how few were Americans.
Oh yeah.
You see in a lot of foreign nationalities, Switzerland,
That's cool.
Netherlands, Australia, Canada, a lot of bike. And I've seen every type of bike that you can imagine. So if you're thinking out there that you need a bike like mine no. I seen a guy that flew in.
Anything, right?
He flew in, went to a Dick's, and bought pretty much it wasn't even a mountain bike.
Like a cruiser?
Like a cruiser type. And then just started strapping things to it. And he had already made it to Missouri when I met him.
Yeah.
Was having the time of his life. And he said when he got to California, he was going to donate the bike, get on a plane and go home.
That was my first trip on a bikepacking trip. I had a bike. It was a little mountain bike that's old. I just started strapping stuff to it and went. Yeah. You can go if you want to go. It's pretty cool.
It doesn't take much. And the cost, I think the train ticket was $240.
Cheaper than a flight.
Yeah. And that literally, other than the nights that I had to get a room, and the maintenance on the bike. So I've always done my own maintenance. All my work I do it all myself.
That's good.
But I did get in Southern California, the front hub. I purposely did not take tools to disassemble and work on a hub.
Right.
So I stopped in a bike shop in Santa Monica.
Okay.
And went in and he serviced my front hub. And then other than that, I never had
no other big problems.
I finally had to replace the tires in Missouri. So the bike, when I bought it, had Schwab's. You know what Schwab's are?
Yeah.
They're the Macdadia tires.
They are.
So this guy had bought this bike, built it, ridden it from Oregon to somewhere's in Colorado, somewhere's maybe the Midwestern states. And then he called it off, took it home, put it in his garage. It sat in his garage for 10 years. And then he decided to sell it with these same tires on it that he bought it with. Okay. I took those same tires and rode from California to Missouri on those same tires.
Huh.
But it got to the point where the back one will wear quicker than the front one.
Gotcha.
Because that's where the weight's at.
That's the weight.
That's where the weight's at. So I went on. I could not get to Schwab's in the time that I needed to get them. Mm-hmm. So I was stopping in Missouri, which was not a bucket list item, but something I really want to do. I had an old Army buddy that lives in Missouri. So I called ahead and asked him, I said, if I order some tires, I'm going to have them shipped to your house. And so I went on Amazon and found some touring tires from a UK company called Finchy. I can't remember. I was nervous because
trying that out.
I'm like, okay, this could get really bad or really good. And when I unboxed them, I knew I was like, these are quality tires.
Nice.
And they're still on today. And
cool.
That'll be what I ride with.
What you'll start with.
Yeah.
Very nice.
But that was it. No, the only maintenance was replacing, and I had to buy a few tubes here and there.
Sure.
But I just replaced those 2 tires. That was it.
That's lucky. We're riding 3,000, 4,000 miles with not many problems.
And for those that wonder, okay, medication is always.
Right.
That is one of the easiest things. So my pharmacy is Walgreens. Mm-hmm. I know I'm getting ready to run out of whatever. I look ahead to where the next town is, the next Walgreens, Google, closest Walgreens, and it'll tell you, columns, hey, I'm traveling across country. I'm running out of this. I'll be there in 3 days. And they're like, we'll have it when you get here.
Awesome. Made it work. That's, yeah.
That was simplest as could be.
Very cool. So the gear I'm stoked on.
Okay.
Back to that. Sorry.
We
can probably keep talking about.
This may take another.
That's okay. We should do a
episode.
part 2.
Because there was a lot I didn't go into about planning, how to plan these routes for bike packing or bike touring.
Let's do another.
We can do another on how to plan it, how to choose your route, how to get your maps. We could go into all of that.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
Part 2, it will be coming. Sound good?
Let's make it a date.
This is the gear I'm stoked about. It's a hat. It's a bucket hat, but they also make baseball caps. It's called Parapack. They're West Coast company, but you can fold it up and it fits in your pocket, basically. And then it snaps together. I'm doing this all one hand. And stick this in here. And it fits in your pocket.
Nice.
And then you open it up and it's a hat. It's all sun protected. It can also be, they have directions on how to make it into a pocket pouch where you can use the drawstring to hold it. They show them holding apples in here, like 3 apples. So I'm very excited about this company. We have them in the shop now, and I'm trying it out.
So I wore either under my helmet or alone. I know you've seen the hat that has the ear flaps.
Yeah.
The sun.
Yeah, they've got some of those too.
So that was critical.
Sure.
Because I learned very quickly, heading eastbound, the right side of your body was getting cooked. So
Yeah.
it was like.
Sometimes I'll put my sun hoodie up over my head and then put my helmet on top of that.
Yes. So I knew I had that option, or I could do the sun hat, and the sun hat seemed to work the best. And then the long sleeve white button up shirt. White may not have been the greatest choice, but I was thinking about visibility as well.
Yeah. You gonna wear the same thing this time?
Maybe the same shorts. I don't think I'll do the shirt again.
Different.
After. So it ended up being, the whole trip was like 80 days, but that's from the time I drove to West Virginia to the time I literally rode the bike back to my house. But there was only 58 days of actually riding the bike.
Wow.
So that's for those thru hikers out there, and you're looking for that next adrenaline rush, that next adventure, but you can't take the time to do the PCT or the CDT or something like that. Do not overlook your bike.
Bike touring, bike packing. I agree.
And like I said, and you don't even have to.
It's a great next step. You've already got the gear.
Yes.
You probably already got a bike.
Facebook Marketplace is flooded.
Oh, sure.
Flooded with bikes.
Yeah.
Get
And
you a bike.
bike packing bags and stuff if
Do
you want to
know
do that.
Adventure Cycling has a route that parallels the PCT?
No.
Yeah, it's called the High Sierras.
High Sierras.
The CDT, they have their own mountain bike route.
Great Divide.
Great Divide.
Yeah. I want to do that one. Banff to Mexico.
There was a coast on there was a bike route all the way down the eastern seaboard.
Eastern Continental Divide.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's that one, and then there's the ACA that takes you down the coast all the way from Maine to Florida.
Oh, that sounds nice.
There's a southern tier route. There's a northern tier route.
Huh. I'm going to do them as soon as I retire too. I've got my bucket list going.
Good deal.
But, yeah, let's do a part 2.
Let's do it.
Thanks for being here.
You're more than welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I think we got good and chafed on bike touring, bike packing.
We even talked
and
about
we will
getting chafed,
some
didn't we?
more. Yeah, perfect for Chafed Outdoors. Until next time.
Yeah, you like that?
Hugging in the dirt.
Don't mind getting hurt. You still get home and you feel too safe, and you wanna get shaved. Let's get shaved
Yeah.
with Coach.
Man, that burns.